Hello everybody, another video here. The last time I made an attempt to make a video turned out not very well. It was only like a few pictures. Was a technical difficulties, which is I believe I solved it. So the video that I created didn't happen. I was just talking to myself. So it is what it is. Quite a few things that happened lately. I was sick for the past 2 days, which is kind of like affect me to do the things that I needed to do. I'm still a little bit underneath the weather, but it's getting better thanks to the antibiotics. But the first thing first, when you feel like you're getting sick, go to the doctor. You will prevent it to getting worse if you're working it out right away, not to wait for like 2-3 days until you're getting into it. So what I'm going to be talking to you about today, it's kind of like a chain of events that's going to be kind of like coming up. Kind of like things that when you are in the journey, you will understand that the things that you knew, the things that you know about it, didn't quite happen, didn't quite came up into it. A lot of the people, they talking about the 5D, like people talking about 3D and the 5D, but now a lot of the people realize they're actually into the 4D, which is not very good positions, because kind of like the 4D, it's a dimension that things don't work because of the duality, because of the things that goes on. The 4D is just a stepping stone. A lot of the people think that they're in the 5D. They're actually into the 4D, but only one side is connected and things work and they don't work. They are based out of the opposite. They are based out of no communications. And if there is communications, the ego and the soul and the both people or the both situations are fighting with into it. When you're stepping into the stone, into the 5D, you will find this difference of what's going on and what it is. For example, in the 4D, the things don't work. You wait and wait and wait. Compared to into the 5D, when the universe tells you, here you go, you're ready, you evolve, you can work with those 5D energies. Here is the person that you're going to work with. Here how the things works. And now when you move out of the 4D, hanging up out of the 4D, recycling yourself, which is you just spinning around and around and around like the lines into the recycle bin. If you know what I'm talking about here, if you haven't seen it, you kind of like going around and around. I want to see if we'll be able to kind of like a picture to you guys. And it's just kind of like going around up here, whereas this doesn't really helping you out. It doesn't really getting you to positions where you want it to be, what is going on at some point. And this can create a lot of issues inside of you. Compared to into the 5D, you actually begin to work with the stuff. The video that I'm just going to be making into it, it's going to lead to the next video, which is about fear of union. Fear of union. What actually is the triggers? This video, it's about the triggers that affecting you and how the triggers comes in and they helping you to see the things that you need to let it go in life, because there is the triggers that comes in, and when you are in communications with your soul connection, okay, we're not talking about twin flames here anymore, because the whole part of the twin flames was so even right now it doesn't resonate with people. They don't want to even go to that term because it was too much commercialized, and the term turns out to be something completely different into. So I said, on the Facebook, we're working on the video 5D understanding triggers, old life, a new life, and mission. What is your mission? What is the some more important part in you? When you understand your triggers, what is the triggers are? Those are the things that you need to work it out, that you haven't worked it out from before. What is important to you? Is important to you the relationship that you have right now, or is important the things that are inside of you about your own self? Because where are you going into that relationship, into the 5D? What are you going to bring with you? And what are you going to take it away? This is coming from the 3 stages of the evolution. When if you don't know it, when two different species comes together, they have 3 choices. The one choice, it's the one of the species die and just gives the power to the other species to evolve. The second one remains basically neutral, just stays into it, but does not have any positive or a negative impact of the evolution of the second one. And the third one, it's the 2 species, they come in together, they evolving together. When they let it go of the stuff, they do not need it for the new evolution into. So letting it go of our old self in the process of letting the new energy can be one of the scariest experiences in life. Yes, that's what that is. It's a very scary, very shocking for your system when you enter into that new life, when you understand that your subconscious mind is opens, it becomes conscious, and then what you're going to do is that new energies, when it kind of like entering into it, are you going to let it go of the old things that you know compared to the new things that comes up? Would you be able to do that expansions within your conscious of understanding and those new experience when they're walking in your life? So the beginning, it's a very scary. That's like into the 4D. Those are the stuff that are into. And when you look at those experiences, they're kind of like a more powerful. In 5D, they are more higher, the vibrations are more higher, everything fast. And sometimes this fast part, when it happens so fast, you kind of like can keep it up with it. Everything moves so far, so fast. But by leaving behind your old self and taking a leap of faith into the unknown, it might just reveal that you are truly capable of becoming. What are you capable of? You're going to understand your new capabilities and new gifts into the 5D. You will understand these capabilities. But what happening is the triggers that comes in. Whatever the situations with the triggers are. Let's say like you working on a situation where you and your partner talking about, and all of a sudden your partner says this and you say that, and all of a sudden there is an issue. Here in the 5D, you will look at that issue from the both 2 ways. You will understand what this trigger is about. You will understand this issue, what it's all about. And when the both sides understands the issue, they look at it in the new way and they say, do we need this in our relationship or not? Do we need this into where we are going? Do we need this with us? And when the both individuals decided they don't need this, it's the let it go. That is the part that I was saying at the beginning of the 3rd stage of the evolutions, when the 2 species comes together, they evolve together. They decide to let it go of the old, let it go of the stuff. In the next slide, though, a lot of the couples, they're avoiding these triggers, so they cannot have a conflict. But by avoiding the triggers, that doesn't help into the 5D. Because into the 5D, when you have the conflict, the 5D connection is kind of like fading out, you're probably going to step down into the 4D, or even worse, you can step into the 3D. And then you understand that by avoiding the triggers, it's not healing the relationship. So guess what? You go ahead, you have a communication with your soul partner, you talking about that trigger, and you understand that by avoiding the trigger, you making a more mess than everything. So avoiding your triggers isn't healing. Healing happens when you're triggered and you're able to move through the pain, the pattern, and the story, and walk your way to different ending. What is this different ending though? It's on a 5D. It's when you resolve this conflict, or you resolve this pattern, you resolve this pain, Zavet, the reward that's in the 5D, the love gets more clear and the love gets more stronger as a vibration, and then you go back into that state of inner peace, and you go back into the state out of love. But as a lot of the people, when they don't have communications of it, they don't communicate between each other, specifically when talking about it in a soul relationship. You have to understand that communication is the key. If your soul partner does not want to talk to you, they don't talk to you, you have a very confrontation communications. You need to go ahead and look at it, what you need to change for yourself if you can keep it up with that relationship. If that relationship doesn't go anywhere, any place, anywhere, just please let it go of that relationship. Go focus into your relationship with the universe, and the universe is going to point you out the person the universe knows you are meant to be, not the person you choose. You will find this energy into the 5D, which is completely a different energy. You will find that power when it comes in, it kicks inside of you of what is going on. But again, please, 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 doesn't matter what you're doing into it, do not avoid your triggers. They are the path of your evolution. Basically what's happening with this is, I want you to imagine it that you and your partner are walking into the steps and you going on up the stairs, okay? You giving a hand to your partner who is in the step below you. You give them a hand, you pull that up, they come in the step next to you, and they're jumping and they're moving on the step above you. They give you the hand, and then you move the next step next to them, but you're moving up again. And basically is this part of both kind of like a walking up and above, helping each other to go ahead and establish a base, establish a better base for the relationship. I will make some video about this base of the relationship and why it's so important about it, because you don't want to build a base on a base of the old 3D paradigm, because the old 3 is it's serving the purpose for the 3D. When you get into the 5D, you want to have a base that it actually serves the purpose for your 5D. I want to make some video later on this, but right now we're talking about this right here. You need to understand that you need to, it's so important you need to working on in your triggers. Those could be a triggers on your own, or those going to be a triggers that comes in with your soul partner. That it's all independent of the case zone. Yeah, you're going to understand that your new life is going to cost you all one. That is the price you will pay for this evolution. You have to understand your old life is here as this cocoon on it when your wings are waiting for you. And a lot of the people have issues of understanding of let go. Why do they have to let it go? And this is the part comes in that you need to understand your mission. as a partnership, and your mission is importance of what you have to say, what you have to do when you have to cross over into the 5D. You have this huge responsibility, and that huge responsibility is your mission. So what is more important to you? Your mission, your old life, or you gonna go ahead and change to have the new life that it's meant for you? When this process of understanding the mission kicks in, you will understand this is your power, the power that gives you the go ahead and complete the things that you started with. You might started your mission into 3D. Maybe you walk up later on into the 4D, but now when you're crossing into the 5D, then you understand your importance. Then you understand and you accept your importance about of what you need to do. Because once you have the why, you will understand the how. And this is why when you are into the 5D, the why, it really gets down into your mission to increase the vibrations, to help other people understand this 5D understanding vibrations within the consciousness that comes in, and it's going to be evolved of more and more and more. In the past years, what happening is a lot of the people, they talk, and they were talking, including me, they were talking about solving the problem within the duality. Basically, well, if you do this in here, maybe your partner is going to do that right here, and then you two is going to come together. Maybe you have to do this with that partner and let him go. You're working on yourself, but there is nothing going on in here. The whole situation is not solved. Working in the part of self-reflections, which is to reflect in yourself, to love yourself, which is to move a little bit up until you come into the end that it can't continue anymore. Because guess what? Into the 4D, there is no completion. If there is any completion into the 4D, a lot of the people who got together into the twin flames, into the 4D, they are basically a premature union. They haven't looked at the situations of higher level from above, from the 5D, and they haven't completely understood why they're doing what you need to do and why they are so important to complete what they need to complete. And they haven't dealt yet with the final stages of this let it go. The final stages when they have to leave this triggers, to solve those triggers, to understand this part. I mean, a lot of the 5D situation is that you have to look at everything in order to build the relationship that will serve the purpose into the 5D, to serve its purpose. You want to solve everything or sphere of the life, you to look at it that when you build the things into the 4D and 3D, because you're gonna come down to build that up, because you're living into the physical presence. It's, you know, you have to hold to work, you have to have the money, you have to work with deal with things that it's on a constantly basis. You have to go through your inner fights to do and not to do, which is it's the 4D. But you building all this with purpose that you will serve into the 5D. And this is why when you doing this with the knowledge and understanding and the self-realization, which is very crucial, because into the 5D you work with this self-realization, you understand that you have to let it go of this old life, because that old life, it's not going to serve the purpose of where you going. And when you look at it at this, you're gonna be looking into this, guys, your habits. Things are changing, right? Where you go, how you act, how you react. Right now, your old habit is gonna go back with your old life, you're going to create a new habit. You're going to create a new things inside of you that resonate with into the 5D. And those new things, they're not going to resonate with the old things. They're not going to be able to do the new, do it. And these old habits, all of a sudden, they're just going to fade out inside of you. The reason they're going to fade out inside of you is because wherever you're going into, you're going into the union. You don't want to bring your old stuff inside of this union. You building something new. You building something from understanding from the heaven to be materialized into the earth. And this is why this old habit, it's going to go away. They're just going to kind of like fade out, and the new habits who comes in. What are the new habits are? The new habits could be some kind of a gift that you're going to have. This gift could be singing, writing, making videos, drawing, painting. This could be a new gift that comes in that you always had it inside of you, but it was never activated until you came to the 5D. And then you find your passion, you have your new habits, you create a different life, you create something much more meaningful, not only for you, but it does around you. Then you're gonna see how the people, they're gonna pick up to those vibes from you, similar like in 4D, and then the things is gonna be turning around higher, higher, and higher. And that is the whole point of this video, is you to look at it inside of you. You to go ahead and have this self-talk. You can have this self-realizations of where are you living? Are you happy? Are you let it go? Are you trusting the universe? Are you trusting the things that goes in your life? Are you allowing something to be better? Are you allowing yourself to be happy? Are you allowing your old ways to stand against your new ways? And this is why I hope this video kind of like helping you out, so you can look at it inside of you and see what are you going in that road into the 5D. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. We're looking forward for your comments. Be love.